Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, my apologies for having convened you earlier than the time that the leadership arrived. We take full responsibility for that, and we unreservedly issue our apologies to all of you. And I hope it is critical at this juncture again to say, from the evening, you will take it upon your heart to apologize to our esteemed members of the press. They are good friends of our department, particularly our department from information and publicity. They are also your friends insofar as they are coming to grace your occasion. So we convened them at 2:30, and of course due to those other circumstances where you were also having another interview with some of their colleagues again, you could not be here in time. So just to say, make a few introductions which will be of course subsumed and completed by the spokesperson of the ZANU-PF National Youth League, and who is also our deputy minister, and one of those beautiful deputy ministers indeed, Comrade Simbanega. Comrade Yokai Simbanega is also an MP, a member of parliament. He's a spokesperson and therefore the director of proceedings on the occasion of this press conference. Over to you, Comrade spokesperson.
Thank you, Director. As Director has indicated, we are sincerely sorry. We return our apologies to all of you, and to also thank you for giving yourself some time to come to grace our occasion, as this is a very important occasion for us as the ZANU-PF we being members of the Revolutionary Party, we are also part of the international fora, especially the African fora, where we think back to where we come from as a people, to where we come from as a generation, in fact. And that's why today we have asked you guys to be here with us, and as we commemorate the Day of the African Child, remembering our responsibilities as young African people, what affects us, the challenges that we're facing, as well as strengthening ourselves as we move forward. So today, with me, I have members of student association. It's coming from Zikos. We also have members of the National Executive who are here with us. We also have other representatives coming in from these associations. As the ZANU-PF Youth League, we have various youth associations that are affiliated to us, and they have also come here today in solidarity with the Day of the African Child. So having said that, and having introduced and also having indicated to you that today our press conference is going to be mainly focused on the Day of the African Child, which is the 16th of June, as we join the rest of Africa to remember all those who have always been sincere towards the young people, to all those who have always had good intentions towards the young people of Africa, as well as to those who also continue to remember to build Africa for the young people. I hereby introduce the Acting Secretary for Youth Affairs, Comrade Tendai Chirau, who will be today presenting our statement on behalf of the National Executive. Comrade Chirau, you can proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Simbanegari. Thank you, members of the press. Our presentation on the occasion of the Day of the African Child is commemorated on the 16th of June. It's an African on the African Union calendar. The Revolutionary ZANU-PF Youth League joins all progressive children and youth of the world in celebrating the 29th edition of the Day of the African Child. While not all youth are children, some children are youth, hence all progressive youth must join in honoring and reflecting on this important Day of the African Child. Lest we forget, it is on this historic day that we specifically pay homage to the brave and courageous young cadres who were at the forefront of the struggle for the liberation of the last bastion of apartheid rule on African continent on June 16, 1976. The Soweto uprising was an uprising against the dehumanizing, exploitative, and racist Bantu education system that sought to subjugate indigenous Africans into personal servitude and second-class citizens. The uprising significantly marked a crucial stage in the struggle against colonialism and separatist development. We salute the spirited and heroic African children who stood up against the colonial status quo of a Bantu education system designed to mentally subdue black communities and perpetuate apartheid and imperialism. This Bantu education system sought to erode the rights of the indigenous to self-determination by reducing them to a lower status, which status would see them become perpetual and involuntary victims of apartheid colonial system. The African children of 1976 should continuously be celebrated and emulated as important symbols of the right to self-determination and human dignity, as evidenced by the adoption of the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples by the United Nations General Assembly of 2007. African youth, together with their progressive counterparts from across the globe, duly contributed towards the ratification of a universal framework for efforts to advance indigenous people's rights, showing that flame for youth activism continues to burn even after 1976. The uprising of the June 16, 1976 proved that the apartheid policy to impose Afrikaans as a language of instruction in 1974 was not only a disastrous policy decision, but that all men have a right to their language and culture. The Day of the African Child thus serves to remind us that we must do all we can to protect and promote indigenous languages as part of our national language policies in order to build a generation of adequately conscious Pan-African youth mentally emancipated to defend Africa as the land of freedom, peace, and progress. While the Soweto uprising took center stage on 16 June 1976 in South Africa, in Zimbabwe the struggle against British colonialism was also gathering momentum as the liberation struggle previously fought largely from Zambia and seen a new battlefront being opened up in Mozambique in January 1976. The carnage from Soweto uprising must forever remind all of us that independence was not served on a silver platter, but rather it is a product of an arduous and painful struggle dating back to first Umvukela Chimurenga of the 1890s. As ZANU-PF, we continue to draw from Soweto uprising important lessons on the critical role of youth in the struggle for Africa's socio-economic and political liberation. It is the responsibility of the current generation of young Africans to consolidate the gains of Soweto uprising and not only defend the continent but advance it. The African Union critically continues to acknowledge that African children and youth are at the very heart of Africa's development agenda because the development outcomes of Africa's young people have a momentous and permanent effect on the continent's trajectory. The African theme of the 2020 commemoration of the Day of the African Child is access to child-friendly justice in Africa, a theme that resonates well in Zimbabwe, which created victim and child-friendly courts in 1997 as part of reforms made by the then Minister of Justice, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs, Comrade Emmerson Mnangagwa. We encourage their various law enforcement authorities to continue to do more to fight the various crimes against children, which crimes include rape, child marriages, even in the face of dwindled financial and human resources on account of the evil sanctions imposed on Zimbabwe by the West. We applaud on this day efforts by the Minister of Justice to harmonize our marriage laws, to outlaw child marriages, as well as inimitable work being done by the First Lady, Amain Auxilia Mnangagwa, to fight for the rights of children and end child marriages. Going forward, the onus is on the current generation of Zimbabwean children and youth to recalibrate their minds and step forward in creating and sustaining a heritage that will help us to drive the economy forward, in line with the able, focused, and progressive vision of His Excellency President Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa. We must never forget that the main beneficiaries of Vision 2030 are today's children, and the onus is on all Zimbabweans to make this Vision 2030 a reality. Success requires focus as well as resilience, and we must never waver in the face of local and foreign retrogressive forces who are desperate to reverse our independence. From June 16, 1976 to eternity, the journey towards total African emancipation continues. Viva African children! Viva African youth! Viva African freedom! That marks the end of the statement. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you so much, Acting Deputy Secretary for the National Executive. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we have heard, the Acting Secretary presenting our first statement to you, we are welcome to a few questions that you may feel you need to ask. But just a few, if you have them, we are willing to entertain your thoughts.
Takumane Islam Media. Since we are commemorating the Day of the African Child, within those African child that are being commemorated today, you have also spoken of advancing and meeting their needs, like what the First Lady is doing, visiting constituencies, also meeting people on the ground with different social needs. What is it that is there today in every constituency that looks at the disabled African children who are in all the constituencies countrywide?
Okay. Any other question before I respond to that one? So that we can be able to just respond to all of the questions that are there. Okay, so to respond to your question, Comrade, we as a youth league, we represent all the young people. Like everyone who is young below the age of 45 is represented by the Ghana Youth League, including those that are disabled and those that are not disabled. And in each constituency, as the Secretary has indicated, we have various programs. And in these programs, we do not discriminate the participation of those that are disabled, preferring those that are not disabled. For those that are disabled and might face challenges of maybe traveling distances to be able to join their age mates in probably taking part in sporting activities, taking part in economic activities, we always ensure that relevant government departments that are within those constituencies, as the ZANU-PF Youth League, we mobilize and lobby and create awareness systems so that these government systems can be able to reach to those disadvantaged, disabled young persons. For instance, right now the Minister of Youth, Sports, Arts and Recreation the Minister is doing rounds, reaching out to young people in the rural communities. That includes those that are disabled. So we also ensure that whenever those kind of activities are happening within those communities, young people are able to send their own representatives to be able to give voice to their needs, to be able to articulate what exactly affects them as disabled young persons. Because we also understand that those that are not disabled cannot be able to articulate issues that do not directly affect them. So we always ensure that young people that are disabled have representatives at each and every activity that happens in this community, be it church activities, be it government activities, be it private, organization activities. As the Youth League, we make sure that we go into these organizations, ensuring that they always remember to take note of each and every sector, each and every individual needs of all the young people. I can say that that's what we can do. We influence, we lobby, we create awareness so that they are not,
So what plans does the Youth League have for the masses that have been affected during this COVID era?
Thank you very much. Just to add from what our spokesperson said, I think we have been on the ground since day one. I think you were following the media. We started with a program that we christened COYORE, which means COVID Youth Response Initiative, COVID-19 Youth Response Initiative. So what we have done awareness campaigns in particular. What we have also gone a step further to distribute and give out sanitizers to constituents. We've also managed to mobilize resources, which include rice and other things. We are still going on, but we are still in this journey to make sure that we are the young people. And we are also the people who lobby to ensure that there is that COVID-19 Youth Relief Fund. And we are happy with some of the youth that have also benefited, but we call that there should be actually more money to assist our people who have been socially and economically affected by the pandemic. So we have not been sitting, we have been doing a lot of groundwork in that regard.
Your appeal to the business community who are the youth members who have benefited from the youth indigenization program in order to help during this COVID period time.
We applaud those. For example, when we donated the face sanitizers, we were working hand in glove with the business community owned by young people. We are encouraging more that those who have not done that. It's important to take charge into the social community responsibility. COVID, no one planned COVID. The world is shocked on it. So let's put our minds together. The issue of blame game is something that is past us. We should always try to work together to make sure that we assist our kith and kin as we are in this battle against the pandemic.
Thank you.
All right. If there are any other questions, we thank you so much. We thank you very much. We always hope that going forward, we're always working together, and we really appreciate your taking the time to come to our program each and every time. So we thank you so much.